All right, so let's have a reaction video to the Week 9 of college football.
When this gets posted, the Braves will be your 2021 World
Yes.
Series.
Chop on, baby.
So if this video is a little bit shorter, we apologize because the Braves are currently up 4-0 right now. Adam Duvall, freaking grand
Hit a grand slam,
in the
baby.
bottom of the first inning.
Let's go,
Let's
baby.
We'll
go.
probably speed through this just a
We're
little
trying
bit.
to get this. We love doing this, but
Yeah.
this is a once in a lifetime.
This hasn't happened in 26 years. But anyway, first of all, thank you, Cam Smith, with the Just Jesus
Thank you, Cam.
Radio Network, internet radio app, all your gospel preaching, gospel singing. Our boy Dave is on there, 8:30 on Saturday mornings. Also, with the American Senior Benefits Insurance Company, open enrollment is going on right now up until December the 7th. So make sure you go give him a call if you have any insurance questions or needs. But, yeah, once again, I'll just start this off. Once again, initial reaction to Week 9. It's Georgia and everybody else.
Yeah, I was about to say, I could sum this week up by saying Georgia is by far the best team in the country. Caleb Williams is an absolute stud. Jim Harbaugh lost the game that he really needed to win.
Again.
Cincinnati is just barely pulling away.
Yep.
That's the vid, boys. Let's go watch the Braves game, baby.
But I was talking to Josh Spencer and Landon after this before service tonight. You know, and Landon brought up the fact that, you know, Georgia still hasn't played an elite offense. Georgia, you know, and he wasn't saying that they're going to lose, but the likes of Alabama and the likes of Oklahoma could give Georgia a test.
Yeah.
And like I told,
that they pass.
but like I told, and that's what I told Josh.
I've taken many tests in my lifetime.
Like I told Josh and them, it does seem like that week after week now we've came on here, and not just us necessarily, but other people, and said, this is the week Georgia gets tested. This is the week that Georgia gets a game.
Yeah, and then people take it away from them.
This is the week that, you know, that Georgia gets challenged. Hold on. And it's every week 34-7.
Right.
27-3.
And then it's like, oh, they really weren't that good.
Yeah, it's a double standard. They're not
really
blowing people out, but it's a dominant win on all facets of the game.
And Clemson, when we were at the peak of our run, we experienced a lot of that. Miami would come in highly ranked. They wouldn't score a point. We'd beat them by 30-something points. Oh, Miami's just really not that good. Virginia Tech, Florida State, whoever. I mean, we've experienced
and I think Georgia's facing that right now.
I'll say this: you can hate all you want. That's fine. They're going to until we beat Bama. Doesn't bother me. But I've heard it literally since we beat Clemson. Oh, you're Georgia. You're going to choke.
Yep.
Oh, you're Georgia. You're going to choke. The only people saying that are people not watching Georgia.
Yep.
This Georgia team's not the team of old.
Well, I'm telling you, the Georgia sports curse is being broken tonight.
Dude,
The curse is over. There has been a curse on Georgia sports.
I don't know if you would ever have a better year sports-wise.
If the Braves and the Dogs win it all.
Yeah.
Because I have a couple NFL teams I watch. I don't give a rip.
Yeah.
And when it comes to NBA, I like the Hawks. I don't care.
Right.
This is really the only two teams I'm invested in.
Yeah.
And they could win it all in 1 year.
Yeah, that would be insane. So, I mean, and then you move on to, you know, Cincinnati, which actually game day is going to Cincinnati for the first time this
Is it SMU?
week. No, Tulsa. I don't know what to say. They're 3-5.
I'm surprised they're not going to Auburn A&M.
Yeah, but, you know, Cincinnati looked good again this week.
Well, they struggled early. Really bad.
They did struggle early.
For 3 quarters.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they pulled away, and I'm rooting for Cincinnati. I want them to be in the playoffs. Absolutely, I
don't think they'd fare well, but I think they deserve to be
I'm begging for it. I'm begging for them. I'm begging for Michigan State.
They definitely don't fare.
Also begging for Wake Forest.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
And Georgia
Which
would run
we had that conversation tonight that if Wake Forest does win out and and win the ACC championship, they're not necessarily in.
100% they are.
They're in.
Yes, they are.
Hold on. Just hear me out right quick. Like I said,
they're in.
Undefeated
Power 5 conference champion.
Okay, but listen, hold on.
Yeah, they're
without argument. Georgia, Bama beats Georgia.
Okay.
Bama's in. A one-loss Ohio State Big Ten twin. I promise you.
Wake Forest.
They'll put them in.
No, they won't.
Wake Forest has no big wins.
Ohio
State.
This is good stuff.
Hold on. No. But you're arguing Clemson. What about Clemson? I'm a Clemson fan.
That's not a big win.
No, I'm not saying if they beat Clemson. I'm saying year after year, and I'm a Clemson fan. Who did we beat in ACC and went undefeated? And we've had one. There's been other one.
I agree.
Hey, I'm fighting for Wake Forest. They go undefeated. They're in. I promise you.
But listen, no, you're going to have an Ohio State team. If Ohio State or Michigan State, whichever one. Now, if Michigan State wins out, Michigan State's in over Wake Forest all day.
Well, then who's the other team?
Alabama.
You're saying Alabama,
Georgia,
beats Georgia, Michigan State, and Oklahoma.
Alabama's not beating Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Wake Forest.
But if let's just say Ohio State has one loss, they have wins over Iowa, right? Michigan at Michigan, Michigan State. That's 3 huge wins that Wake Forest does not have any.
And
Wake Forest's big win?
There's not one. But Clemson, 2 years ago, let's say Clemson.
Okay, but let's just say, in all reality, who's the better team?
100% that Ohio State would run through them.
The committee's going to put Ohio State in.
I don't know. We've seen the committee.
You know how much they love Ohio State.
But that's true. But we've also seen them leave them out when they lost to Purdue that year.
They did leave them out.
And they put a non-conference champion in Alabama. Didn't even make the conference championship.
That's because they love Alabama maybe more than.
Well, 100%. But Alabama didn't even make the conference championship that year, and they put Alabama in it.
Hold on now.
I'm just saying,
I want to say something here. As much as I don't want to, I agree with Dallas.
And I agree with this. Ohio State should be in.
But Bama's not beating Georgia.
They're not.
I do not see the committee leaving an undefeated Power 5 conference champion in. We know that they value conference championships. We've seen Clemson year after year run through a weak ACC.
I agree with
that.
And
I think Wake Forest loses a game. So I don't think they win out.
Right.
But I'm saying if they do, I do not see the committee leaving out an undefeated. And a lot of people are going to say, well, Wake Forest don't deserve it. I'm just saying.
I agree. I agree with both of you, and as weird as that sounds.
But like I said,
Ohio State would win by 20.
That's a lot of ifs.
Title.
That's a lot of ifs because Alabama would have to win and Wake Forest not lose a game, which I think both of those things happen.
I think Bama and Wake Forest get left out.
Yeah, I do too. That's a whole other video.
Let me just say
but that was good. Man.
If the playoffs suit up to Georgia and pick your 3, Michigan State, Wake Forest, and then what? Who else? Cincinnati. You may as well.
And we just forgot about Cincinnati that entire conversation, but they would be out in that situation.
If that happens,
you think Cincinnati's out?
In the situation what we just argued about. Yeah, because they're group. We've seen Group of 5 undefeated.
They're way more likely to leave Cincinnati out than a 12-0 conference champion.
That's true. I agree with that.
13-0.
I agree with that part. But what other game? Michigan State. Yeah, let's move on to Michigan State. Big win.
They got
a huge win for Michigan State and a bad loss for Jim Harbaugh.
Again.
And I mean,
I seen this stat today that Jim Harbaugh is.
Did he walk anybody first inning?
Tucker Davidson. Yes, he walked.
He walked somebody in this inning.
Yeah. But Jim Harbaugh is, I think, 2-13 against top 10 teams.
Yeah, and he's 3-4 against Michigan State now.
Yeah. Well, it's 3-4 against Michigan State, and I think if you top that, I think you top Michigan State and Ohio State. I think he's like 4, maybe 3. And I don't know if is he ever beat Ohio State.
I'm pretty sure he has.
He might be like 3-9.
Which I will defend him a little bit. I mean, Ohio State's the Alabama of the Big Ten.
What happened? They scored.
Yeah.
What score?
4-1.
Okay, that's fine.
That's all right, but. Ohio State's the Alabama of the Big Ten. Like, I give him a pass on not beating Ohio State yet because that's going to take a while.
Right.
But, I mean...
How long do you get? What's his leash?
He's getting paid as well as any coach in college football. And, again, I said this last week. Michigan has been significantly better since he's become the head coach, but he's not producing at the level that he's getting paid at.
Yeah.
And you have to win that game. Now, I didn't watch the entirety of that game, I'll admit. From what obviously it was a closely contested game. When I was last got done watching the game, Michigan, I think, was winning by... double-digit
Michigan
points.
was up.
Yeah, they were up. I think it was like 10 or 11. Maybe they were winning by. But Jim Harbaugh's got to start winning the big games at some point.
Yeah. What about that running back?
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
No, he's a stud. He's
5 touchdowns?
5 touchdowns, almost. I think
he needs to be. I mean, after that performance, it's like 197 yards, 5 touchdowns.
But Jordan Davis for Heisman.
I mean,
I don't think he's the best in the country. Best player in the country.
Jordan Davis?
Yeah.
Name another one.
He's a great player, but I don't think he's the best player in the country.
He don't have the stats, but.
Yeah. He's a great player.
Well, hold on. He don't have the stats, but
I don't think he's the best player on that D-line.
He is.
I think Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter is.
I think Jalen Carter will be better, but the reason why our linebackers are doing what they're doing.
No, I mean, and that's fair. He takes up so many blocks.
I don't think he should actually win the Heisman. But if you turn the film room on, there are things that he does.
Yeah.
That humans can't do.
Yeah, if you talk about impactful players on their team, Jordan Davis is.
And I'll say this.
No, 100%.
I think in order, and this is going to sound a little out there. I think in order for you to be able to win the Heisman, I think your team should at least make their conference championship.
I agree with that.
Because if you're truly the best player in college football, you should be willing your team to victory.
Hey,
I agree with that.
What about a reaction to our Clemson Tigers?
Hey, biggest win of the year, points-wise, like point spread-wise.
Yeah.
Won by 10 points.
Finally covered the spread.
That was a dumb last drive by Florida State.
It was.
So they try a Hail Mary from like the 20.
Yeah.
They did do that.
I don't know. You had like 10 seconds. Okay, you can dump off a screen and go get 30 yards. And then
I literally told Landon that last night. I was like, I don't understand why these teams, if you can't, I understand if you can make it to the end zone, but you have a lot better chance to score by throwing the little short pass and lateraling and all that than to throw a Hail Mary, catch it at the 20 or 30, and then run to the end zone.
There's not a lot of quarterbacks in college football that can accurately throw a ball over 55, 60 yards.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like I said, again,
it's the same old story with Clemson. I'll tell you what, I didn't get to watch. I had to go back. I had to go back and watch the condensed game. I was hunting, but I was keeping up with the stats. And after the first half, I was looking. I'm keeping up very close with the game, and I can't remember the exact stats, but DJ was something like 11 for 15 for like 100 something yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. And I was thinking to myself, my goodness. He's finally kind of got it figured out. He's finally kind of dialing it in. Our offense is looking good. We got 17 points. And then it's like the second half, we went right back to the same old Clemson.
Brig.
I scored again?
Yes. Why don't we just go in and lose? Well, just go in and freaking
But
lose.
then we went right back to the same old Clemson in the second half.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm telling you, DJ ain't it right now at all.
No, he's not.
And neither is our play call. I mean,
is the dookie.
Just the same way
it was a sack
that we abandon the run so often once we fall behind. We kind of abandoned the run in a section in that game against Florida State. Now we end up going back to it with Will Shipley, who's pretty much our offense, but Clemson still ain't got it figured out.
No, we don't. But I mean,
we won though.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. I mean, like I said, then you could talk about Auburn looked good again against Ole Miss.
Is our starting pitching so bad that in Game 5 we don't have a guy that can start that's not a bullpen
Yeah,
pitcher?
we only have 2 starters, which is Max Fried.
I'm sorry, I genuinely am, but Braves are holding pitching tryouts. All you got to do is walk everybody.
But I'll tell you what, Brian Harsin has done an incredible job his first year at Auburn.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
He has.
He deserves
There's
some
a
legit
couple
credit.
of first-year head coaches right now doing real well. I like Tennessee's head coach.
Josh Heupel.
I think he's doing a good job. There's numerous guys throughout the league. The Florida job will be open.
I was about to try to bring that up. How much longer do you think Dan Mullen has? Because that seat's got to be getting hot.
I'm going to say they won't fire him to the end of the season, but he's done.
You think so?
It's over.
It wouldn't totally shock me.
Dan Mullen, it was reported that after the game. So normally every year, they call it the 1-second handshake. Normally every year, Kirby Smart and Dan Mullen shake hands and keep moving.
Yeah.
But yesterday after the game, they shook hands and had a conversation. And it was said by reporters that Dan Mullen said, I'm not supposed to say this, but you have a heck of a team. Go all the way. We're pulling for you. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy that's going to be there next year at Florida is not saying that.
No.
Dan Mullen's going to go. I don't know where he'll go, if he'll go to the NFL. Thing is, Dan Mullen's a great X's and O's guy. He really is.
No, he is.
I don't like him. He's weird.
He is weird.
He's goofy, but he's a good X's and O's guy, and I think he'd make a good offensive coordinator for a team somewhere.
And I will say this. Would it totally surprise you? Nick Saban's never beat a ranked Auburn team on the road. If Auburn, the way Bo Nix is starting to kind of play really well.
Auburn's beating Alabama.
Brian Harsin is being a great coach. I think Auburn.
I told you.
Possibly.
I told you.
A little foreshadowing.
Be a good preview to do.
I told you on November 1st when you're watching this that Auburn will beat Alabama this year, and Alabama will not even make the SEC championship. It'll be Auburn. Georgia will beat them for the second time this year. Georgia cruises to an 80.
You heard it first.
That's a pretty good way to close.
However, if Bama does beat Auburn and gets the SEC championship, Georgia still cruises to an 80. Go Dogs, Salty Dog. If you're watching, we love you.
Demon Deacons, baby.
Salty Dog.
That cat that always comments.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Who's a legend.
If you're still watching though,
And the G Dog forever.
go ahead and comment Braves by 90.